Welcome everyone to a fun news episode here. Today or so, Google announced and introduced the world's first laptops built for cloud gaming. Take cloud gaming back to the next level with new Chromebooks from Acer, Asus and Lenovo. Here writes John Lattis, the Vice President Chrome OS Product Engineering and Usability. Basically, they are obviously just Chromebooks, right, with 120 Hz display and RGB gaming laptops on selected models and at times anti-ghosting. RGB gaming and anti-ghosting capabilities, depending on product and stuff. So the reason I make a video about this, normally this wouldn't even be newsworthy, right? It's like, yeah, Google, Asus, whatever, some low quality Chromebook stuff. What is really crazy is that Google portrays this as cloud gaming when just the other day Google shuts down Stadia, right? Google is refunding all Stadia purchases. What is Stadia? The Google cloud gaming stuff, right? Just September 29th, you can't make this up. Refunding all Stadia purchases, hardware, software and DLC. Members of the Stadia team will be carrying this work forward in other departments at Google. Carrying this work. Google is shutting down Stadia. Its cloud gaming service will remain live for players until January 18th. So good luck enjoying your Chromebooks for gaming until January 18th. Star maybe with some other cloud gaming services. Then I find it ironically or unexpectedly fair from Google to refund all Stadia hardware, which you also don't need to return because e-waste. Should have ordered some hardware now to get it for free. But a few years ago, they launched consumer gaming service Stadia, and I, in my newscasts here, usually more on my more random live channel, just that I found this here more newsworthy, I was skeptical in the beginning, right? When I had my weekly news short out there, which probably I should continue with all the peak bugs and security vulnerabilities, looking at you, Microsoft and Apple and Linux kernel and Google Chrome. But I was skeptical from the beginning because as garbage and potato as our own Vodafone, leading German or other countries too, but leading high-speed internet provider, not here in the capital of Berlin, the heart of Europe, and they can't get stable DOCSIS for 3 years. Previous videos, I'm fighting with them. They already cancelled our freaking contract because I complained too much for 3 years, because now I'm streaming over LTE, right? Because just this morning on the more live channel, can't even get freaking 2 Mbit here of our 500 Mbit business internet. And for that reason, why do I repeat this? Out of topic, off topic? No, it's on topic, because I said from the beginning, internet in most parts of the world, except some streets in San Francisco or maybe New York and Seattle. So internet is so garbage for most people in the world, including ourselves here in a industrial classification country, maybe, not really sure. Yeah, also, even if internet would be amazing, the latency adds up, right? People always said me, yeah, but yeah, it's amazing, it's amazing. No, it isn't. I grew up in the 80s and 90s when we had game consoles and PCs and stuff, and there was basically near zero latency of buttons having electric signals and like basically instantly providing this inputs there to game console and stuff. And even if you have an amazing connection, you still have some 10s, 20s, 30s, or even freaking more milliseconds of latency to your data center, right? Plus, I personally, and with most kids or my kid and stuff, would also want to play when they don't have internet, right? You travel, you don't have internet, or you have very bad internet, or you drive through, like you travel with your freaking family, right? You drive through countrysides, you drive through tunnels, you might take a train where it's not like you have amazing internet everywhere. I don't understand what people thinking. Anyway, so yeah, as I predicted, and many other people were skeptical, and all the gaming YouTubers of like latency sucks and so on, and artifacts and HDR and 4K and all the other issues, right? it's like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing when they announce gaming-focused Chromebooks the month after they canceled their own freaking cloud service. You know what's even more funny? I mean, also adding to the projects of like Google Stadia expiring in 3 months. Also, like, I made the previous video, right? Already 2 or so years, I make a freaking video of all their 275 like Google Hangouts and stuff projects or YouTube originals. Like, yeah, all the 275 freaking projects cancelled by Google, right? And you know what's even more funny than this stuff is that just the other month, the Google CEO tells employees productivity and focus must improve, launches Simplicity Sprint to gather employees' feedback on efficiency. You know what? Dear CEO of Google, I don't know what you have studied and what, but from a manager, from a CEO to CEO, maybe it's not your employees who have an issue, maybe it's your freaking management who doesn't know what you're freaking doing. One obviously flawed from the beginning project after another, although I would actually say some of them are actually halfway decent, but most of your freaking graveyard of cancelled and unsuccessful projects, like your cloud gaming, and then your continuation of cloud gaming Chromebooks, like maybe it's not your employees' fault when you freaking decide to take on one unsuccessful project after another. Then you can have the most amazing employees that are the most focused and productive if they need to work on unsuccessful projects nobody asked for, that are obviously not needed by most people. And also imagine how much money that burned, right? The Stadia, all the development, so you have dozens if not hundreds of engineers working on this stuff, from client side to server side, for all the integration and stuff, plus all your data center, plus all the hardware, right? So this must be hundreds of millions, if not, given with all the hardware Google produced for cloud gaming Stadia, plus all the server side, all the server farms. So they must obviously have thousands, if not 10,000s of gaming servers, right? So we're not even talking peanuts. We're not talking like 10,000s of whatever. We're talking about 100 million, if not billion investment, right? Given, I mean, sure, they could probably recycle some of the servers, although maybe they're probably somewhat gaming specific. So even if you say they can use the servers differently, maybe not the best fit and stuff, but all the restructuring, even if they can recycle the servers with NVIDIA or whatever, or was it AMD GPUs, it's still a probably billion investment. Click in the comments below if you have more details, or read the fine print. I usually don't follow all the Google financial paper stuff. But yeah, it is absolutely mind-blowing what these big mega corporations do, similar to, I mean, Apple is certainly somewhat successful, but even at Apple, right? So many peak bugs, and also projects, Apple Project Car, Project Augmented Reality, whatever, something. And you really have to wonder, it's kind of the Microsoft of the 90s or so, trying everything and pouring money into everything just to make sure there's no competition, or thinking they turn everything to gold and profit. Yeah, we from our side, previous video, we have cancelled our Google ads. We previously had run Google search ads, which we never could really measure. Of all the, I think in total we spent over 35,000 euro, previous video, over a decade. So we spent little, it might sound a lot, we only spent, I think at most we spent 600 euro a month, but over 10 years it adds up. And for 600, the crazy stuff is for 600 euro a month, you only get very few clicks, especially if you have expensive keywords like macOS and scanner, which also virus scanner, which we don't do. So advertising there is not even the easiest. And since then, our sales remains the same, right? Previous video, we canceled this. So pro tip, don't give Google your money for ads, which is kind of a shady business, to be honest. You probably know that people in call centers or stuff, clicking all the advertisements and stuff. So financing this really shady advertising business, financing all this crazy stuff, which I and many experts from the beginning had hopes that it will successful. Anyway, that's it for the video. And if you have efficiency and success problems, don't look to your employees. 90% look to your own management fails. It's if it wouldn't be so sad, it's funny. But anyway, also here's a 175,000 employees, right? Focus and improve efficiency. Yeah, pro tip. Focus and efficiency with all your unsuccessful and obviously flawed projects. That's it for this video. Leave in the comments below. I mean, maybe if they are cheap, I didn't even check the price here. If they are cheap, like Chromebooks are, maybe if you install appropriate Linux distribution, maybe they are useful. If they're not too gaming themed, except the RGB keyboards, like, then maybe they're actually otherwise halfway decent work machines. The only thing is, I said it before, you don't really need snappy, work productivity machines with snappy scrolling. I said it before, you don't really need snappier scrolling, but some people should. If you're after that, maybe those machines are otherwise good, just not for gaming, because leave in the comments below, but in my opinion, cloud gaming somewhat sucks with all the latency and connectivity, and just game locally. And if you don't have, I also don't play 4K stuff, right? So just play some vintage and retro games like Monkey Islands or SimCity or stuff, I don't know. That's it for the video. One last comment, cloud gaming would be great if Google could convince ESPs to have reliable broadband. Yeah, like convince my ISP, right? Working theme here. But they gave Stadia a shot. It was great when it had the rare stable. Yeah, it's our business internet is even too crappy to. When in Berlin even, and yes, it's the only fast internet we can get at this address, so we probably have to move the office. So share, like, and subscribe so that I can afford another office. St. Louis, Rossmann, right? When in Germany, even businesses can't get a reliable, fast business internet connection, then good luck with streaming. And as I said, most people who game are younger and travel and game on travel and stuff. So, or even if you're older, like if I would game, like with my Steam Deck previous video, then I game when I like travel or stuff, and not when I'm sitting at home or in the office with better internet. It's, yeah. And beside, it is in general the trend, but that is really the last sentence, that you don't own the stuff, right? If you have this vintage and retro stuff, you have your Monkey Island CD, your Formula 1 Grand Prix CD, or even SimCity or whatever, or Crysis or Quake, and you own the stuff. And if you give these companies the game subscription money, then it's gone, right? You cannot vintage and retro game this in some years because you don't have this in your drawer, and maybe this is not even available, right? I think all the digital only stuff that after a decade, it's like, yeah, not there anymore, right? So hope you learned something and enjoyed this. Have a good day or night, and don't forget to share and subscribe for all the next fun stuff and news to come.